For 20 years, I have been helping students and families in my community and surrounding counties, and even and honestly across the state, and even some out of state, helping students and families navigate the college admission and financial aid process. I've worked with one, two, three, four organizations and had roles within those organizations to do just that. And honestly, when I got my first college access job, I right before the interview, I found out about it, and maybe I've told the story before, but basically, I was volunteering at the first ever showcase of HBCU college fair here in our city. And I was standing at a table handing out information with one of my good friends. And right next to me was a friend of mine that I had known since college. We went to two different colleges, but we knew each other. And she worked for an organization called Educational Talent Search through a workforce development group here in our city. And I was asking her what she did. And she shared with me what she did, that she helped students and families with the college admissions process. She took students on field trips. And I was like, that's a job. Like, you get paid to tell students about college. And the rest is history. I was able to join the same organization and become a youth counselor and work in two high schools and one middle school, working with students who were first generation to college students, and maybe came from a household that was considered low income. And I've been, again, doing this work for the past 20 years. And so I thought that by this time I wouldn't be doing the work. I did. I wanted to do something different. When I stepped away from my role as college counselor at my daughter's school, Louisville Collegiate School, I was ready for something different. And little did I know, or really even think about, that there was still a need, and that I had in me, I had knowledge and information and care and love that still need to be poured out. I had help and guidance that I still needed and still need to give to students and families. Isn't that something? Welcome to this week's episode of Her Renewed Mind. And I'm really taking you behind the scenes of how my mind has been transformed, how I've changed my mind has been changed and transformed even this past week when it comes to the services and the giftings that I have to give right now in real time, July 2026. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, because you're going to hear this. Actually, yeah, you're hearing this on July 27th. So we're still in July. So, like I mentioned to you in my intro, I wanted to do something different. I think because at that point, it was less than 20 years. So I was at year, let me count in my head, 17 when I left Louisville Collegiate School, when I decided to step into Vision Speak Consulting full time. And honestly, I was burnt out. I was burnt out, and I knew there was more. There was more that I wanted to step into. So I had Queen Arise going on. I had just started the podcast. And so I wanted to do that. I wanted to explore that. I wanted to host master classes and really pour into women and coach women. That's really, I remember working through that the summer of 2023. And I remember, see, as I'm talking, things will come back to my remembrance. I remember a few people still asking me, well, are you going to do the college coaching like on your own and through your business? And I didn't want to blow it up to where, okay, I'm going to take a lot of students. But I remember telling a close friend, okay, I'll work with your daughter. I knew her daughter and my daughter were friends. They really grew up together in school. And I said, you know what, I'll help your daughter. I'll have like one student that I'm working with. And so was able to help her, started working with her junior year. And she is now heading into her sophomore year of college, just like my daughter. And I believe we had a good time during the process of me meeting with her every month and then twice a month when she got into her senior year. But I really didn't envision me doing this at a higher capacity. Well, I had beautiful connections, of course, with the school system because of the work that I've done the past 20 years. And so I was blessed to receive a contract to go into a few schools and conduct workshops with students on college access. So in my head, I was like, okay, it's with the school system. I can't say no to a contract. There is there are beautiful relationships that I've forged over the past 20 years. They know me, they trust my work. I do good work. And I actually had missed going into schools. It took me back to when I was working for KHEAA from 2010 until 2021 because I hadn't done that work because I was at collegiate for those past 2 years. I hope you're with the timeline, right? And so I was constantly hearing confirmation, affirmation that yes, Candace, we need you. You have in you what our students need. You have, as I mentioned, that love, that care, and concern. I said, okay, I can do this, but I really want to. I might not have said this out loud, but I really want to do this other thing, at a high capacity. Well, fast forward to this week, and really with Holy Spirit thinking about where my business is and where I believe it could be, right? Having those real conversations with myself and honestly thinking about the revenue that I'm bringing in, but also understanding that hand in hand with that is that it's as a business solving a problem that people have, right? Businesses are designed and should be designed to solve a problem that people have. And so, what problem do people have? And what solution am I to the problem that they have? And what has been consistent the past 20 years is that I help solve the problem that parents and families have about not knowing about the college admissions process, not knowing how to look for scholarships, students not being confident that they can get into XYZ school, students and families having one person that they can speak to consistently to help them and guide them through the process. Because, particularly in our public schools, the counselors do not have capacity to meet with every single student and be that guide that they need through the college application process. Not for every student. Now, some students, there can be kind of what I'll say low touch points because they have the resources. They are in college success programs in our community or in your community, wherever you're watching this. They have parents that understand the process. Maybe they have parents that work in higher education. So they don't have that much of a challenge getting the help that they need to apply to college. But for a majority of students, because I've been working with them for the past 20 years, they need their person. They need their coach that they can call, that they can text to get that extra help in navigating the process. And I solved that problem. And so it was this week, I was like, okay, Candace, lean into like that, but I want you to accept that to be true right now and focus on that. You've been focusing on so many other things, and those are good things. But this right here is your sweet spot, and you already have so much relational equity surrounding the work that you do. There's already so much trust built. People know you for this, and that's okay that they know you for this because you are a solution. Goodness. I am a solution. Not just me, but you are a solution for the thing that you are a solution for. And I pray that this is even helping you figure that out. Or maybe you know that, but it's you leaning into that, accepting that, and going forward. So I am set to have my contract renewed with the school system, which is such a blessing, And I've been working closely with a few schools, and one school in particular, I know the counselor very well. We have a personal relationship, and I was blessed to be able to walk side by side with her, helping her son. He is headed to college this upcoming school year. And so we would text, we would talk. I would see her in person at her school. I met with her son. I really was her coach, was her and her son's coach through his senior year. And so in working with her, I came up with this idea to host a college application lab for her seniors. This will be the first graduating class of seniors. And so I thought, how amazing would it be to host this lab for a few of her seniors before school starts so they could get that jump start? And so everything is good to go. And when you're listening to this, we will be in day one of the, or day one, yeah, this is day one of the lab. And so I'm excited, so excited to meet with students, seniors, and get a jump start on their senior year in this way. And so I was sharing that with friend and I met this week. It was a super, super quick meeting. And I was sharing with her what I was doing, working with seniors for this app lab and even into the school year. And she said, "What about juniors?" And it stopped me. And I was like, yeah, ideally I would work with juniors, right? Because they haven't started senior year yet. So we would be able to take our time, right? Like there's not a lot of deadlines per se for junior year when it comes to, juniors cannot apply for college unless they're graduating early. But most of your traditional juniors, they can't apply for college until their senior year. And so they can be prepped. Right. I can help them prepare. And the light bulb just started going out because I forgot her daughter is a junior. And so it got me so excited because here I was able to hear from her, hear her, for lack of a better word, problem, but then, her also giving me a solution at the same time. Because, yes, what about juniors? And I remember saying, well, yeah, ideally I would work with juniors. And we both laughed. And so that caused me to say, okay, let me go home and think about this and see what that would look like. What would it look like for me to work with a small group of juniors, next school year? And so, or this upcoming school year, which is next school year, but it's upcoming. So that is the renewing of my mind that happened this week. The renewing of my mind to focus on the solution that I provide, to focus on the thing that energizes me. And although, and I reflect back to, when I left my full-time position and, jumping in Vision Speak Consulting full-time, that it was okay that I felt like I didn't want to do college coaching to the extent that I had been doing it. And that's okay. Because now, and I think I said this to someone yesterday, now I get to do it in my own way. I get to do it in a way where it is grace filled. I get to do it in a way that I think will bring out the best in students and families. I get to do it in a way and pour in a way, honestly, if I'm honest, and let me just be honest, in a way that I was already kind of sneaking in when I was working for other people, but now I don't have to sneak it in. I can just say, this is what it is. This is how I'm going to coach your student. This is how I'm going to coach you, parent. This is how I can help you be better, because I know that it's bigger than just filling out an application and making a decision. There are characteristics that are being built in students or that are already in students, but this process has a way of revealing those strengths that students already have. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about infusing the things that I've learned through the years about the process, the things that I've learned through the years about what students need and how I can best cater to the student, because not every student is the same. Every student learns differently. Every student needs different type of learning mechanisms. And so I get to help with that. And if I don't have it, I can call on someone that does. I can bring in a guest speaker. I can suggest different books. It's going to be so good. So good. So this was that week for me. This was that week for me of the light bulb coming on for just spending time with Holy Spirit. My creativity was up a level. I have so many notes. Well, you all know that already. You know that already. Lots of notebooks, lots of notes that I've taken. So many ideas that have come. I even sent an email to myself yesterday about people in my community that I've worked with before. And we used to convene around college success and college access in our community. And I don't know if that's happening at the same level as it was before. There are silos that I see, and it's like there's a reason that I'm paying attention to that, right? So what are those things that you even think about that you're frustrated about or you don't see happening? A lot of times that is Holy Spirit tapping us on our shoulder saying, hey, there's a reason that you're the one that sees that. There's a reason that you're the one that's paying attention to that, because perhaps you carry the solution for that problem. Perhaps you are the answer, or you have the answers to the problem that you see that can help to strengthen that particular area, whatever area that is in your family, in these, what people may call spheres of our world: business, education, faith, religion, government, and there's other areas, arts and culture. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. One question I want to share right now is for I encourage you to excavate that, right? What is that issue or problem or that frustration that just keeps coming up for you or to you? And what could you do about it? And remember, you're not alone. You have Holy Spirit living on the inside of you who knows the answer to all things. We, as human as we are, we don't know the answer to everything, but Holy Spirit does, and Holy Spirit reveals. Holy Spirit reveals. So take some time with Holy Spirit to ask that question, like, okay, what are you showing me, and what do I have in me to help be a solution to what you're showing me? And just begin to write. Begin to dream with no limitations. Who are the people that come to mind that can be of support to you? Oh my goodness, this is good work right here. Because we're called to release heaven on earth. We're called to be that solution. And so you have heaven living on the inside of you. So how can you release that heaven? And how can you release heaven? How are you to release heaven in your area of influence? My area of influence is education. My area of influence is that transition from high school to college. And so, how can I release heaven solutions in that area? And so, that's what I've been working on for the past 20 years. And now it's like all coming together into how I can streamline and be even more of a solution to what's needed. So, I'm excited about what's to come. I really am. And thank you for letting me share some behind the scenes of what's going on with Vision Speak Consulting. One thing about it, Her Renewed Mind will be here. I love, love, love this platform. I'm looking to even enhance Her Renewed Mind more. So look for that coming in Q4 and definitely Q1 of 2027. And I appreciate you for being on this journey with me. I think about when I first started this podcast, it was with my phone and it was a different name. And then there was a newer iteration. Then Her Renewed Mind came along. And we're going to keep going. And I appreciate you being along for the ride in this evolution. Something my mentor said. She's like, I believe in evolution. We all should, right? I also believe in things changing and transforming for the best. There's so much to learn with that. Also, you may have noticed there's some ads on the front and the back end of this podcast. Now, I'm so blessed. The platform that I use to broadcast this out to you, if you're listening to audio, on YouTube, there's no ads yet, but those ads are coming soon. But on the audio platform, you've noticed there's some ads in front of the podcast and ads at the end, because I now have the opportunity to earn income from ads, earn revenue from placing ads. And so I'm intentional about the ads that you will hear. And so I am excited about that. I didn't know if they were live, but I listened back to the last episode 174, and the ads are live. The ads are adding. So I look forward to getting to the point where you will hear my ads at the front and the beginning, or some other podcast platform will hear an ad about her Renew Mind and hear an ad about the things that I have going on. So I'm excited about the growth of this podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening all over the world. And so, with my focus, in helping students with a grace-filled transition from high school to college and helping them with that process, and families too, I am hosting a complimentary workshop called College Confidence Live. I believe that after you leave our time together, you're going to be more confident. You, as the parent, you, as the student, you're going to be more confident in the college application and financial aid process. You're going to know the latest trends. You're going to know your next step. You're going to be clear on how to navigate junior year and how to navigate senior year, which senior year is when you're hitting the road, right? Like you are applying to colleges and you're applying for scholarships. And there's some scholarships you can apply for junior year. So we'll be talking about that. And so I want you to join me in this workshop, no matter where you are listening. I want you to join me July 30th, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time, and then all the other time zones fall in where they may. And check the show notes, check the description for the link to register, or you can go directly to my website, visionspeakconsulting.com, and register, and invite other families that you know that have juniors and seniors in high school. Shout out to the high school class of 2027, current seniors or rising seniors, because school starts soon, and also rising juniors. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, peace.